After a long journey in the icy cold of East March, we quickly pass the stable master, walking unusually far behind his wife, as we hastily make our way into the comfort of the ancient, weather-worn city of Windhelm. We pass the Altmore hostler who confides to us.
Horses. All day long. Do you have any idea how dull horses are?
Well, it must beat standing around all day in the city like a guard.
If the guards would listen to Viola, they'd have caught the butcher by now.
Butcher? It's a good thing you and your husband are safe outside the city, right?
I love my husband, but he can be a bit dull at times.
It's clear this marriage is an unhappy one, as she pays no mind to her husband right behind her, nor he her, as he walks by, pissed off. We finally approach the gates and inquire directions from a guard.
How can I help a brother Nord?
I could certainly use a tankard of ale and a warm fire right now.
If it's better board you're after, Candlehearth Hall's got both.
We then enter the City of Kings. Immediately we are drawn forward by the city's frozen charm and the glow of an open flame. Seeing the welcome sight of an inn's sign.
Spare a coin for a poor old woman.
A weary voice from behind catches our attention.
Spare a coin for an old woman, my lord. Spare a coin. Talos rewards the generous.
Sure, have a coin. You look like you could use it.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. I hope the wind dies down a bit before tonight. Hard when you've got to sleep outside. Nervous being alone at night. Especially these days, with the butcher prowling the streets.
Butcher? That name again. Well, you stay warm and stay safe. We're going inside now.
The divine smile on a charitable soul.
Eager for shelter, we venture into Candlehearth Hall.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything, or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
How goes it?
Poor Nilsine has been wrecked since her sister was killed.
Look alive, will you? This here's Candlehearth Hall. Great rooms upstairs, and there's a bed for rent on the ground floor.
Candlehearth Hall. That's a unique name.
Did you see the candle above the fire upstairs? It was lit 163 years ago, back when this building was the home of a grand warrior named Windhelm. When word came that he'd fallen, his son Durant lit the candle in his honor. Nobody knows why it still burns.
Before we can make our way upstairs, a busty Nord greets us.
You want a drink?
Of course. What do you have?
Depends. Are you thirsty? Hungry? Both.
Just mead for now, thank you.
See you around, handsome.
We follow the flirtatious tavern wench upstairs, making our way towards the bellowing hearth and a very inviting chair, before we're approached by an old woman.
For the darkness has passed.
Be on the lookout. The butcher could be around any corner.
I still can't believe Isabella's gone. She was such a helpful young lass.
We follow the second voice to someone standing right behind us.
I'm a writer by trade. Not that the people of Skyrim do much reading.
Do you mind, friend? I'm trying to relax. Why don't you go right about having a conversation with someone
The world
else?
needs tales of heroism.
Ignoring the writer, we spot the famous candle on the mantle, very much outshined by the fire below. Finally, we sit back before the fire and pop open our mead. Barely staying awake, we lift ourselves up and make our way downstairs to retire for the night. But before, we thank our Nord hostess. Thanks for the mead. This is a nice place you have here.
Did you know that candle on the mantle hasn't gone out in over 100 years?
So I heard. It's a bit underwhelming, to be honest.
You didn't hear it from me, but if you want a real drink, try the Corner Club in the Grey Quarter.
A dark elf bar. Bold of a Nord to say in Windhelm, especially with the owner in earshot.
How can Elda hate the Dark Elves when she knows so little about them?
Fair enough. Well, maybe we'll see you around the Corner Club sometime. You have a nice night now.
See you around, handsome.
Leaving the brazen young woman, we make our way downstairs to the barkeep who warns us.
Mind you don't get fresh with Susanna. She plays the flirt, but it's just to get good tips.
Now that bed you mentioned earlier, I think I'll take it.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Sounds great.
I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Without even undressing, we fall into bed and drift into a deep slumber.
So what's the news on the street, Captain?
The Dark Elves are uneasy. There's a killer on the streets, and Viola Giordano won't leave me alone.
How would you like a drink?
Oh, very much so.
Coming right up.
We leave the hall and are greeted by the brisk cold of the morning air. We begin strolling around the ancient stone city, aged and worn by the elements of the north. A lot of history and tragedy in this city, and we have a feeling it still has more tales to share. A chill, even colder than the wind, shivers down our spine as we spot a gruesome scene. We again approach the guard, but this time with much less enthusiasm.
Hold it there. Keep your distance.
What the hell's going on here, brother?
Another girl killed. This is Susanna, from Candlehearth Hall. Served me a drink just a few nights ago, but I can't say I knew her.
Wait a minute. This is the same girl who just served us drinks mere hours ago. How could this even happen?
Same as the others. Looks like she was stabbed and then cut apart. It's like an animal got to her, but these are the wounds of a blade.
Isgramir's beard. No offense, but your city's kinda Wait, did you say another girl killed?
Susanna's the third. It's always the same. Young girl killed at night, body torn up.
This must be the work of this butcher we've been hearing about. Look, I know you're busy standing in the same place all day, but is the city guard even trying to catch this fiend?
We're stretched thin as it is with a war. Nobody has the time to spend on this. Not pleasant, but it's the truth.
Well, you know, if you're looking for help, I'm looking for work.
If you want to help, ask some of these gawkers if they saw anything useful. I'm going to examine the body before the rats can get to it.
We first question a man named Calixto.
Always sad when someone has to die.
Did you see anything happen?
Sorry, I thought I saw a fellow running away, but didn't get a good look at him.
Not much help. We then question a familiar beggar.
Another one. Terrible.
Hey, remember us? Can you tell me if you saw what happened here?
I heard a scream and came running, but she was already like this when I got here.
Not much help either. It's then we see the handiwork of this butcher and what's left of the once vibrant Susanna, left mutilated and carelessly tossed aside. We then question the third and final witness. Can you tell me anything about what happened here?
No, sorry. But I did notice that her coin purse was still intact, so whoever did this wasn't after gold. I'm going to keep preparing the body, if you'll excuse me.
Must be the Hall of the Dead's resident priestess.
This is a shame.
We then talk to the guard once more. I've talked to the witnesses and they told me nothing.
Just like always. Nobody saw anything useful. Bastards escaped again.
You know, there may be more to this than meets the eye. I'd like to investigate further if the city guard will allow me.
Look, friend. If you think you can do better than the Legion of Guards, be my guest. We'll need to talk to the steward, though. We can't just let anyone go around claiming to be on official business. If he's willing, then we'll talk.
Alright, I'll speak to the steward and report back. We then make our way towards the Palace of Kings. Entering and noting the raw meat just sitting on the table, we approach and speak with the Jarl's right-hand man. I'm here about the murders.
Terrible shame what happened to those women.
I'd like to lend a hand and help catch this butcher.
These are difficult times indeed, when men stalk their brethren like beasts. My men are stretched thin as it is. If you offer your aid, I gladly accept. The guards will be told to assist you as necessary. I'm happy to lend a hand as much as I can as well. Travel safely. It's dangerous out there.
No shit, Investigator Vale. We make our way back outside and return to the guard to inform him.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
This is our investigation now.
All right then. I noticed a trail of blood leading away from here. Helgerd's taken the body into the Hall of the Dead to prepare for burial. She's a little crazy, but if she knows anything, it's dead bodies.
Following the blood trail, we take a momentary pit stop into the Hall of the Dead to see if the coroner can tell us anything of worth. We make our way down the long corridors, filled with candles that barely illuminate the darkness and musty air that does little to mask the overwhelming smell of death. We then spot Helgerd examining Susanna's body on the table.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
So, have you found anything of note about the body?
Well, she's dead, but I guess that's not unusual, at least not for somebody in here. I mean, someone who's not me, that is. Sorry, was only joking with you.
Right. So nothing unusual at all?
Not really. The only unusual thing is the shape of the cuts. They look like they were made with... Well, the ancient Nords used these kinds of curved blades when they embalmed their dead. I don't know who in Windhelm would even have something like that. Other than me, of course.
Embalming tools. As the now lead investigator, I have to ask, you didn't have anything to do with this, did you?
I'm too busy tending to the dead to spend my time making more of them. And I wouldn't very well tell you about the cuts if I had made them, now would I? Now, I really got to get back to the body. Lot of work to prepare her for the grave.
We then move to the other side to examine the corpse ourselves. Gods, this is barbaric. We've seen some gruesome scenes before, but this is pure sadism.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
Yes, you said that already. Is there anything else?
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
Are you mad, lady? No wonder they call you crazy.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
The poor woman's clearly deranged, smacking on bread.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
It's clear we'll get nothing more views from her, and we begin following the much more promising blood trail once more. Up these stone steps, we eventually...
Ever since that Imperial Craven ran me through from behind, I've had trouble breathing. I don't have any trouble drinking, though.
Up these stone steps, we eventually reach a large house. However, we find the door is locked. With little choice, we return to the steward once more. So that large house in the northwest corner of the city, believe our answers lie there, but I can't get in.
Frigga Shattershield's old place? It's been abandoned ever since she was killed. I think her mother, Tova, has the key.
Our search for Tova leads us to the market where we overhear.
I understand you purchase used goods as well as sell them.
Yes, that's right. Whether or not I'm interested depends on what you've got, of course.
I have some things that belong to my daughter, Frigga. She won't be needing them anymore.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course, I'll take a look. Just bring them by whenever it's convenient
Take
for you.
home Windhelm's finest and freshest produce today.
Excuse me, Tova, is it?
Poor Nilsine has been wrecked.
I've been a bit out of sorts since our
I
daughter was
suppose.
taken
Nilsine
from
bought
us.
up most-
I understand. I'm sorry to hear about your daughter, but I need to ask you some questions regarding her.
I'm sorry. She was very dear to me, and it's rather painful to think about. I'd rather not talk about my daughter, if you'll excuse me.
Look, I'm investigating the murders on behalf of the steward, and I'm just trying to find her killer before he kills some other young girl again. But I really need your help.
Well, all right. What exactly do you need to know?
You know what? I just need to search your house. Can I just have the key and I'll be on my way?
Hjerim? Well, I'm not sure what you think you'll find there, but you're welcome to have a look.
and with that she gives us the key to her daughter's house, Hjerim. Making our way back towards the abandoned manor, we then use the key and enter the foreboding residence. Immediately we are met with the stale stench of decay and dust, to match a foyer of bloodstains and broken wood. What was once likely a lively home, now stripped of valuables and left to ruin, or perhaps something much darker. We start by searching the room off to the side, noting the pots and pans on the floor. These haven't been used for ages, nothing but skeever droppings and cobwebs inside. Back in the main room we see a chest next to a large bloodstain on the wall. And note, from the marks on the floor, it looks like this box was pushed against the wall recently. Searching inside we find a plethora of parchment, nearly a dozen flyers that read, "Beware the Butcher, the killer who haunts the streets of Windhelm. These calamitous times bring out the worst in people. Don't become the next victim. See Viola Giordano if you spot any suspicious behavior." Hidden underneath the blanket of parchment, we find a hidden journal. We give it a read. The plans are coming together swimmingly. I found good sources of bone, flesh, and blood, but thus far a good sampling of sinew and marrow have escaped me. No matter. The city is swollen with contemptuous fools who will be missed by nobody. Last night was almost able to corner Susanna as she left Candlehearth. Idiot guard showed up at just the wrong moment, and I had to turn about, just out for a stroll and so forth. There will be other chances, but the time is drawing near. I think back to my time in Winterhold. All the wasted minds up in their towers. They only explore the magic they already know. I am discovering new magic here. Something deeper than the cantrip shenanigans of fire and light. This flesh magic is older than us. Perhaps older than the world itself. I am tugging at the corners of the fabric of the universe, and where it bunches and folds is where I shall create my greatest triumph. One more attempt at the Candlehearth girl. She's proven to be a bit too cautious, but those strong joints of hers should contain the most exquisite tendons. Worth the effort tonight. Flesh magic. These are the writings of the butcher himself, who it seems targeted poor Susanna for her tendons. Shivering at the thought, we press on into the manor. Heading upstairs, we're met with even more barren rooms. In the bedroom, noting nothing more than the chair is stacked on the bed in an odd fashion. Past the empty cabinet, we make our way back downstairs and to the final section of the house, the back room. Here, we discover an oddly placed wardrobe, and note, this perfectly fine wardrobe was left behind for some reason. Inside is nothing unusual, just fine clothes and other valuables. Perhaps the butcher's less macabre possessions. Searching the far corner, we note, this shelf is filled with more of those butcher flyers from around the city. One pile looks misshapen. When removing the parchment, something heavy falls to the ground, a necklace. We pick it up and examine it, noting its sinister appearance complete with a green skull. And with that, our investigation of Hjerim did not yield much. Just a journal, flyers stolen from their postings, and a strange amulet. But we do search one last wardrobe, noting this wardrobe seems to be nailed against the wall for some reason. Opening it, we push against the wall and discover a false panel. However, what it conceals is a sight best left unseen. Human remains scattered and left to rot, next to meat and cheese, bones stripped of flesh and dignity. But beyond that, an altar? We note, this altar is built to some unknown magic. It looks like someone is using body parts to some gruesome end. We then discover a second journal. 17 tendons and assorted ligaments, 173 fragments of bone for assemblage, approximately, 4 bucketfuls of blood, Nord preferred, 6 spoons of marrow, no more than 2 from a thigh, 12 yards of flesh before cutting. Star scrying to the edge of the ice mind, look to the lights where the souls dance, revealing the time when a spark will revive, when the rotted unites under most skillful hands. Translation from Altmer text, as interpreted by the Aliads and first described by Altmer. Provenance and authority unknown. Soon. Backing up, we stumble and knock over a basket of skulls. It's very clear the butcher has more than just the 3 reported victims. We leave the rotten residence and are thankful to be greeted by Windhelm's brisk breeze. Outside, we encounter Tova's surviving daughter and twin of her late sister. Seeing us leave her sister's residence, she confides.
I lost my twin sister a while back. Have you ever lost anyone close? My father says we need to just get on with our lives. Like it's that easy.
She then makes her way back home, as we make our way towards the steward. So I searched Hjerim and found a bunch of these flyers. What can you tell me about Beware the Butcher?
Have you been talking to Viola Giordano? She posts those all over the city, and someone keeps taking them down. Ask her about it if you want an earful.
I also discovered this sinister-looking amulet. Ever seen it?
I've never seen anything like it. I would take this to Calixto at the House of Curiosities. He has a good eye for strange trinkets. Might even give you a bit of gold for it.
We first decide to seek out this Calixto and inquire about this amulet. In the opposite corner of the city from Hjerim, we enter Calixto's House of Curiosities, where an Imperial awaits us.
What can I do for you, friend?
What is all this?
Welcome to the House of Curiosities. I offer a brief tour for a few coins, or you can simply browse at your leisure. My sister and I once traveled the world to assemble our collection. Such adventures we had.
Did you mention a tour?
Indeed I did. For a few septims, I'll tell you about some of the most interesting curiosities in my collection.
Thinking we may find something of note to aid in our hunt, we say, sure, why not?
Splendid! If you'll just follow me, I'll tell you tales and show you wonders such as you've never seen. These tools were found in a crypt outside Windhelm. They belonged to the ancient Nords who dwelt in Skyrim before the days of the First Empire. Most scholars believe that the Nords of old used these implements to prepare their dead for burial. What macabre mysteries would these tools reveal if they could but speak? Here is the Book of Fate, discovered in a secret room in the Arcane University. The writing in the book describes the destiny of its reader, so the words change from one person to the next. Some see only blank pages, and nobody knows why. Perhaps some of us are born with no destiny, or maybe the blank pages signify an imminent death. Ah, now here's an item out of legend. This is Ysgramor's soup spoon. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is no spoon, it's a fork. Nobody can eat soup with a fork. Well, my friend, you did not know Ysgramor. Don't let this innocent-looking flute fool you, for this is the dancer's pipe. Legend holds that the dancer's pipe has won wars, toppled empires, and changed the very course of history. None know its origins, but the stories say that men who hear its music are compelled to dance uncontrollably, no matter the peril. To activate this strange power, one must only speak the magic words, which are... Oh my, I very nearly got us both into a nasty predicament, didn't I? And with that, the tour is over. I thank you for your patronage, and I hope to see you again soon.
Quite the collection you have. How did you manage to obtain all these items?
My sister and I inherited a modest sum of money. We decided to travel and seek out whatever adventures we could find. As we journeyed across Tamriel, we encountered tales of exotic and wondrous artifacts. We decided to collect as many as we could. My sister passed away some years ago, so I settled down here and opened the House of Curiosities. I think she would be happy to know that our collection has brought smiles to faces both young and old.
Now, I must confess, I didn't come here just for a tour. I was hoping you and your expertise could help me identify something. Have you ever seen this amulet?
Let me see. Ah, yes. This is the Wheelstone. It's an heirloom symbol of the power of Windhelm. Traditionally, it's carried by the court mage. I would, be interested in acquiring it. If you're willing to part with it, that is. For a piece like that, I could pay 500 gold.
Well, shouldn't I give it to the court mage then?
Windhelm? Bah! It's purely ceremonial, and he has no use for it. Besides, I wouldn't want to be the one to give it to him. Gives me the creeps. They say he dabbles in necromancy.
You know what? Take it. Not sure the steward's even paying me anyway. May as well make some coin.
Wonderful. This will be a splendid addition to my private collection. A most pleasant chat. Until the next.
We head back out into town and seek out Viola Giordano.
Yeah? What?
Are you Viola?
Yes?
I'm investigating the murders on behalf of the steward, and wanted to hear what you may know about the butcher.
I've been following him for months now. Well, not actually following. Trying to find him. The guards won't help. The people won't help. I'm the only one who thinks he can be caught.
Well, you're not alone now. Say, why is it that the guards aren't doing anything about this?
They say they're too busy with the war. I say, what good is winning a war if we're still terrorized by one of our own?
But how can the people of Windhelm not care as well?
Oh, they care, all right. Just none of them thinks to do anything about it. They say I'm just snooping around bothering people. But I'm trying to save lives.
Well, in that case, I think I have something you'd like to see. I found this journal in the killer's lair.
Huh? What's it say?
It seems these murders, the mutilations, they are done to serve a rather disturbing purpose. It all seems to point to some ritual involving necromancy. Does that fit anyone you know in the city?
Woundfirth. There have been rumors swirling about him for years, as long as I can remember. But he's a dangerous man. That's why they call him the Unliving. I wouldn't approach him directly. This information needs to go straight to the steward. He'll listen to you.
Woundfirth. Calixto mentioned that name as well. So, it seems we may have our butcher. We take this evidence to the steward and inform him. I have reason to believe your court mage, Woundfirth the Unliving, is indeed Woundfirth the Butcher.
That's quite an accusation. I assume you have proof?
In Hjerim, I found proof of necromancy, and an amulet that Calixto identified as belonging to a court mage. So unless there's another wizard in this palace with a knack for playing with dead things, it seems evident that Woundfirth is our killer.
I don't want to believe it. Woundfirth has been a trusted friend to Ulfric for many years. It pains me to see that the Whispers had truth to them. Woundfirth shall be apprehended. I thank you for your diligence in getting to the bottom of this matter. The streets of Windhelm are now safe.
And with that, we follow the steward to see what transpires.
You're coming with me. We're finally going to arrest the butcher.
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of this?
You're under arrest for the murder of Susanna of Candlehearth Hall, and Frigga Shattershield, and all the rest. Huh?
Has the whole city lost their brains? I've been scrying and auguring to find the murderer myself.
Make your excuses from the bloodworks, wizard. Get him out of my sight.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir, but you'll have to come with me.
This isn't over.
With the butcher finally behind bars, we begin to leave the city. How goes it, Silda?
It's so good to see you again.
Here, take a coin. You should rest much easier tonight.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. A few septims for my supper is all I ask.
Walking on the bridge leading out of Windhelm, we can't shake this feeling that this story is not quite over. We then pass the Altmer hostler as she walks towards the horse stable and jokes.
Ugh. I'll need to bathe thoroughly to get this stench off me.
Well, I smelled much worse today, believe me. We leave the city of Windhelm and resume adventuring in the wilderness of Skyrim. But But after a few days' time, we're drawn back into the City of Kings to check in on things. After resting once again at Candlehearth Hall, we go for a walk. And what we spot is a nightmare.
Oh no, by the gods. This can't be happening.
Another young woman killed, and another face we recognize.
What happened?
How could this happen? We caught the butcher. Puzzled, we question the guard. What happened here? Another killing?
Indeed. I thought you captured the butcher. You said the city was safe now. How could this have happened?
The killer must still be out there.
Obviously. You should visit the Bloodworks to talk to Windhelm. We need to figure out where the evidence went wrong.
We then make our way back into the palace to speak with the innocent man we put behind bars. In the Bloodworks, we find the imprisoned mage who greets us.
Whatever you've heard I can do is probably true.
Look, we haven't spoken before, but I led the hunt against the butcher. A killer we thought we had caught, you, but evidently not. The butcher has struck again.
Oh, isn't that a shame? And here I am in the Bloodworks. Looks like you aren't such a sharp investigator after all.
You're right. I'm sorry you were falsely imprisoned, but you can either be resentful, or you can help me catch this monster and completely clear your name.
What made you think I was to blame in the first place? I've actually been after the killer myself.
Well, I found evidence of necromancy, and what seemed to be your journal in the butcher's lair. Oh, and also your amulet.
My what now? I've never kept a journal, I can assure you. What exactly did this amulet look like?
Well, I no longer have it, but I believe it was 8-sided, jade, ringed with ebony, a worn carving.
I know it well, or at least I've heard of it. I would wager that carving once depicted a skull. That is the necromancer's amulet of legend. It appears you were at least half right. There is necromancy at the heart of this.
So I guess Calixto was wrong then. I should have expected much after his tour.
Yeah. Calixto and his books are often confused about such matters. It happens to the best of us.
You said you were investigating the killings as well. Any advice on what to do next?
I've been noting a pattern to when the killings happen. Now that we know they're tied into some sort of necromantic ritual, I think I know when the next might occur. Let's see. From a Lourdes of Last Seed until a Menace of Hearthfire, it will happen soon. Very soon. Keep watch in the Stone Quarter tomorrow night. That's almost certainly where the killer will strike next.
How'd you figure that out?
I'd explain my research, but you'd just be confused.
The following night, we find ourselves walking the Stone Quarter. From the growing graveyard to the not quite bustling marketplace, we keep a keen eye out for anything suspicious. However, nothing seems out of the ordinary. Until we come across a man in the marketplace, standing ominously. He hasn't noticed us yet, and we watch from behind as a woman, Tova's daughter, walks forward, unknowingly bait for a vicious predator. It's Calixto! We'll give him something for his collection. A strange light releases from his body, as if the souls of his victims have been freed. We search his corpse, and take his key, as well as the infamous Necromancer's amulet, now radiating with powerful magic. After a parting gift for the butcher, we look up and spot a guard. Were you there the whole time?
No lollygagging.
We then return to the steward one final time to inform him. I've discovered and killed the real butcher. It was not Windhelm, it was Calixto.
I'm glad you were able to correct your mistake. I'll release Windhelm immediately. You've done the city a mighty service, friend. I believe you'll find the guards to be a bit more cordial with you in the future.
Still no reward, huh? Well, I know where some treasures lie. With Calixto gone and his key in our possession, we pay a visit to the House of Curiosities. Inside, we head upstairs and use the key to open the chest. Here we find one last journal. Soon enough, my sweet Lucilla, you will be with me once again. Normally, when such words are written, it is because the love left behind is soon to depart. But in my case, I hope to soon bring your spirit back into my world, for it was you who loved this world so much, not I. I continued to collect your new form from the ragged bits around Windhelm. If they only knew what destiny would soon grace their bodies, with your spirit imbuing them with higher purpose, they would surely thank me for the great gift I give them. I reserve for them a place of beauty alongside your heart. The day draws near. Soon I will hold you, and I will show you this, and it will be as delivering a long-forgotten letter to a weary traveler. Love always, Calixto. This guy was truly sick. Also in the chest is an assortment of embalming tools, instruments used for the butcher's morbid experiments. We loot the place of its more valuable curiosities, and head back into the now safe streets of Windhelm. With the butcher's evil spree at an end, the only question that remains now is where to next.